Welcome to today's class A Maths with Joy. So today we're going to be learning a very simple way to solve word problems in maths. So if you are in primary session, especially the senior primary, or you are in the junior secondary school, and then you still find word problem a challenging topic, please do not skip this video. Or you know someone who needs to watch this, please do well to share so that they can also learn how to easily attack word problems and conquer it with confidence. Now, from experience, many students find word problems difficult because they rush to calculate without trying to understand the question. So here is a simple method you need to note in solving word problems. First of all, you need to read the question carefully. Understand what the problem is saying. And when you read that carefully, the next thing to do is to identify the important information contained in the question. All right. So what is the next thing? When you understand what you are expected to do, the next thing is to pick out numbers and keywords. All right. And then decide the operation to use. So ask yourself, am I supposed to add? Am I supposed to subtract? Am I supposed to multiply? Am I supposed to divide? Am I supposed to equate what is on the right hand side to what is on the left hand side? And then when you decide which operation to use, the next thing is to carefully solve the problem and then check your answer to know if it makes sense. All right. So the first question we're going to solve, let's go. Solving these four questions, and I believe that at the end of this video, you should be able to solve any kind of question you see that has to do with word problems, following the steps I'm going to be following in this question. Now, listen to this quick tip. Now, to solve word problems, there are clue words you will look out for. Those words are 1, altogether, 2, total, 3, sum. So when you hear altogether or when you see altogether in a question, when you see total in a question, when you see sum, we're talking about what? Addition. Good. When we see difference, left, remaining, we're talking about what? Subtraction. When we see each, every, groups of, we're talking about what? Multiplication. Good. When we're talking about shared equally, pair, quotient, we are looking at division. So when you want to solve word problems, after reading the question carefully, picking out the information in the question, please look out for these keywords so as to know, am I supposed to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? So very quickly, let's go. Now, the first question says that Amina has 25 oranges. Her mother gives her 15 more oranges. How many oranges does she have altogether? So, did you hear that keyword altogether? Remember what I said about that word altogether. So, when you hear altogether, I've read the question carefully. Now, what is the information in the data? So, let's take it step by step how you should do it. So, after reading the question, what I can get is that Amina had 25 oranges. So what now happened, her mom gave her 15 more oranges. More. So that more is another keyword you need to look at, meaning that there is an increase in the total number of oranges Amina now has. So the question says, how many oranges does Amina have all together? So what are you supposed to do? You add. So Amina has 25 plus 15 oranges all together, and that means she has 40 oranges all together. Did you get that? Good. So the second question, let's go to the question and read it together. It says, a school hired 4 buses for an excursion. Each bus carried 45 pupils. So how many buses did the school hire? 4. Now each buses carried 45 pupils, And then 28 pupils did not go on the trip. How many? So when you see how many, we are looking for total, right? Good. So now, after reading the question carefully, the next thing to do, let me write out the information in the question. All right. So from the question, I know that there are 4 buses. You see how to solve what problem? You write out the information, you don't just jump and start adding. There are 4 buses, right? Good. You write it down. Now, each bus carry 45 persons. According to the question. And then 28 did not attend or did not go for the excursion. So let's say 28 persons missed the excursion. There could be many reasons why they missed. Probably they didn't contribute when others were contributing, or they weren't in school, or they didn't feel like going. So what we know is that 28 of them missed the excursion. Now we want to know how many persons or students are in the school altogether. Now, if 4 buses carry 45 persons each, remember when I was stating the keywords, and I said if you see each, you should think about what? Multiplication. Each. So now, if 4 buses carry 45 persons each, the first thing to do is how many persons or how many pupils or students went for the excursion? All right. So now we have 4 times what? 45. Since each bus carried 45 persons, let's know how many persons the 4 buses carried. So 4 by 5 will give us 20. Write 0, carry 2. 4 times 4, 16 plus 2. You have 180 persons that went for the excursion. And then 28 missed the excursion. So to get the total number of pupils or persons in the school, we add those that went for the excursion to those that missed the excursion. And that will be 208. So we have 208 students in that school. Did you see how it was done? So now, if I didn't pick out this information, I probably would have just done 48 persons went for the excursion, 28 persons did not go. I would just add 45 and 28, and that would be wrong interpretation. Some persons might even add 4 to 45 to 28. Okay, so you write down, read the question carefully, write out the information one after the other, begin to interpret them so that you don't miss or mix anything up. All right, so now let's look at the third question together. Okay, now this one I'm seeing fraction. So let's read. It says a farmer harvested 360 oranges. That's the total. Okay, let's keep reading. He sold 2/5 of them. Now, I want you to take note how I wrote my own fraction. Did you see how I wrote it? Are you seeing my 2/5? So please don't write yours this way. This means 2/5. So take note how I wrote my own fraction. 2/5. Good. So now he sold 2/5 of them. He gave away 1/6 of the remainder. How many oranges does he have left? Now, when one problem gets to fraction, some of you try to run away, but believe you me, this is the easiest. In fact, to me, as far as I'm concerned, what problem should be the easiest part of maths? Why? Because you are looking at application. Something you see, something you do on a daily basis, no longer abstract. Okay, you're no longer looking for X that you did not misplace. You're dealing with something feasible. So now a farmer harvested 360 oranges. Let me get my informations well. 360 oranges harvested. I've taken that. Now he sold 2/5 of them. I'm just trying to get my information straight before I will start. 2/5 of them sold. Then 1/6 of the remainder, 1/6 of the remainder given away. So what are we looking for? How many oranges? It's important you know what you are looking for. Not when you start a question, you go halfway, you are now asking yourself, what exactly am I doing? How many oranges are left? So you see, so now having obtained this information, I can now start. So now I have 360 oranges, right? Good. 2/5 of them were sold. So I will start. 2/5 of is what? Multiplication. So 2/5 times 360. 5 into 36. We know that 5 times 7 is 35. Remainder 1. So if we bring that 1 here, we have 10. So 5 divided 10 will give us 2. So we have 17 oranges sold. That means this woman did not really sell much. You can imagine. Yay! I just pray the oranges will not spoil in her hand though. So 72 oranges sold, right? Now, having written that down, the next sentence there, I think we've sorted this. The next sentence there says, or the information there says, 1/6 of the remainder. But this 72 oranges is the oranges sold. So the next thing, before we can work on the next information, we need to find the what? The remainder. A woman took 360 oranges to the market, she sold 72. How many oranges are left? That will be 360 minus 72. So 10 minus 2 will have 8. 5 minus 7 is not possible, so we borrow 1 here and add. We have 15 minus 7, you have 8. So what is left here will be 2 because we borrowed 1. So we have 288 oranges left. So this 288 is actually the number of oranges she took home at the end of her sales. So now 1/6 of these oranges she did give away with it. You know, you can actually do giveaway with oranges. Yeah. So that means 1/6 of the remainder we can now multiply by 288. Okay. So 2 here, let's start with 2. 2 here will give you 3. 2 divide 2 will give you 1. 2 divide 8 will give you 4. And then 2 divide 8 again will give you 4. Right? So we have 144 over 3. Now let's see if 3 can divide. 3 into 14, you know that 3 times 4 is 12. So that will give us 4 remainder 2. Then 3 into 24 will give us 6. 46 oranges. So she gave away 46 oranges. So we go to the information chart and we tick that one. So what is the next thing? How many oranges are left? Out of 360, she sold 72. She gave away 46. So since we have removed 72 from 360 to get 288, we simply remove 46 from 288 to get how many oranges we are left. Okay, beautiful. So 8 minus 6, we will have 2. 8 minus 4, we will have 4, and then we'll bring down 2. So she has 242 oranges left. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. So she should do more giveaway, right? So that the oranges don't spoil in her hand. Okay, I think we need to advise her to do that. Now, the last question, but not the least, let's read the question together and then pick out vital information so that we can solve. Now, a mother is 36 years old and her daughter is 12 years old. That woman gave birth on time. She's 36 years and her daughter is 12 years. That's beautiful. In how many years will the mother's age be twice the daughter's age? Okay, so let's do what one thing that makes word problem challenging for you is that once you read the question, you want to start solving it immediately, and then it can be overwhelming. Do you understand? So what are you supposed to do? When you read the question, you write out the what? Informations. So let's quickly do that. So the question says a mother is 36 years old, right? Okay, so let's take that down. So after that information, we are told okay, we are asked in how many years. So let's write it down. In how many years? So we know what we are looking for, right? We're looking for number of years. In how many years will the mother's age be what? Twice the daughter's age. So that's the question. Okay, now let the number of years be x. We don't know, right? If we know, we won't be here asking in how many years. So since we don't know, we say let the number of years, let the number of years be x. You can call it anything. You can call it y, you can call it k, you can call it any letter of the alphabet, all right? Because it is not known. So now, in how many years? Of course, it is not this year. It's not now. Why is it not now? Because currently, the mother is 36, the daughter is 12, right? So if you double the daughter's age, it will be 24, which is not the mother's age currently. Are you getting me now? So it is definitely not this year. So that means it will actually happen in X years' time, right? So in X years, that X years is the X year is the year that it will happen. When the mother's age will become twice the daughter's age. So in X years, what will be that mother's age? Her age will be 36 plus X. Her age is not constant, she's growing, right? As the daughter is aging, the mother is also aging. Okay? So now in that X years, the daughter's age is what? 12 plus X. She's also aging as the mother is aging. Okay, so now in that X years, for the mother's age to be twice the daughter's age, what happens in that year is that 36 plus X, which will be the mother's age then, will be twice the daughter's age then, and then the daughter's age would be 12 plus X. Do you see that? Good. Remember, we are looking for x, so we can now solve for x. Open the bracket on the right hand side, collect like terms and simplify for x. So we have 36 plus x to be equal to 24 plus 2x. So 36 minus 24 will give us 12. So x is 12. Wow. So in 12 years time, let's see if that will be true. You know, we had 36 plus x, right? And then we had 12 plus x. So if x is 12, let's see. 36 plus 12 will give us 48. So when the mother is 48 years, how old do you think the daughter will be? 12 plus 12, which is 24. And then if you multiply 24 by 2, it will give you 48. Oh, that means in 12 years' time, the daughter will now be twice, the mother will be twice the daughter's age, because the mother will be 48 and the daughter will be 24. Okay. Now, I believe you enjoyed this video. Please do well to like, share, comment, and I challenge you to look for word problems on any topic you have handled, you've been taught, solve, and if you have any issues or if you have any need to reach out to me, please drop your questions in the comment section and I'll quickly attend to you. Do have a lovely day and join us in our next video. Bye.